Hello everybody, this is Seth from 62 Sales, and today I'm going to share a quick tip with you about how to protect your investment, and it starts with keeping all of your joints sealed up. And in particular, we're talking about siliconing these joints here. Now this door was recently installed, and a lot of people have a tough time spreading silicone and keeping it clean and off this black trim metal or even the metal siding of the camper. And to be honest with you, you would think that silicone, dried silicone, is easy to get off of these surfaces, but I can tell you from firsthand experience, it's almost impossible to get it completely off. But putting silicone on starts with having a clean prep surface. So the first thing we're going to do is wipe it down with some alcohol. All right, now that we have it wiped down, we're going to start by masking each side here. And we want to keep the masking tape pretty tight on each side of this joint, because then we're going to come back with silicone. We're going to press it into the joint, and before the silicone dries, we're going to pull the masking tape and we'll have a nice clean factory finish. Now you may notice in this joint here, there's what's called butyl tape. That's kind of a secondary layer of protection to keep it weather tight. We put this on the back side of the door, so when we screw it in, it mashes and kind of starts to seep out the edges as depending on the weather. Obviously, the warmer it is, the more that's going to push out, cut off the excess. But then we want to go over that with a nice clean bead of silicone. So again, it starts by having a nice clean masking tape line. We have it cleaned. We wiped it down with alcohol. We went through, we masked both sides of the surface that we're going to be sealing with silicone. And now what we're going to do is we're going to run a nice pretty fat bead of silicone from the top all the way to the bottom, but then we're going to go back and we're just going to one smooth motion strike it with your finger, kind of mash it into these joints or even your thumb. But what you're trying to do is just gradually wipe off that excess, and then we're going to immediately pull the tape. From there, you're not going to want to touch it till it sets up, but at that point you'll see that it gives you a nice clean factory finish. So the silicone has been applied. Now you noticed as I was swiping my thumb down, I'd probably run it 4 to 5 inches, take the excess silicone, wipe it off my thumb. That's just so you don't get a big glob of silicone kind of running ahead of you and wanting to fall and make a mess. So depending on how big of a gap you have to fill is going to obviously determine how much silicone you have to place in there. Now we just finished wiping it. Now you're going to see I'm going to pull this tape and we will have a nice clean factory edge that's completely sealed. So as you can see through a close-up, you do have a nice, clean, fully sealed factory edge packed with silicone, which is what you want to keep the weather out, protect your investment. Maybe give you a quick shot of what you don't want it to look like when this process is all complete. So what you see here is someone that applied silicone, obviously didn't know exactly what they were doing, and they put the silicone in the joint and then they tried to come back and smear it in with their finger. And you know, this may seem like it would be easy to get off silicone on these black trim rings around the windows, but it's absolutely not. I mean, we've actually picked and rolled and pushed at this and it just doesn't come off, even with chemical treatment. And then you have to be careful on rubbing the paint off the black metal. So the method that we just showed you is the method that we use here at 62 Sales of all of our service and repairs when applying silicone. Again, that quick tip. But if you want an estimate on sealing your camper, re-roofing your camper, or maybe a roof treatment, silicone coatings have been extremely popular for us. This is the time to do it in the off season when you're not using your camper. Currently, we are a bit booked up, running probably about 30 to 45 days out, but go ahead and get on our schedule, get booked before the camping season begins. Visit us online at 62sales.com or give us a call at 812-720-3810.